Prepare for battle.
Okay, and we're in. So, like I said before, if you're complaining about the ads, our sponsors are the good guys here. XBet are the ones who ensure that Tier 2 Dota still exists in the shape and form it does right now, because Valve themselves don't put any effort in. I would really like to see the majors and the international just have a Tier 2 segment, you know? I mean, Dota 1 did it back in the day, where you had a bit of Dota, which showed the upcoming teams. League of Legends even stole it from Dota 1, and Dota 2 is just like, nah, they're gonna be fine, screw that, we got open qualifiers, that's more than enough. Why would we actually want to watch Tier 2 Dota when we can just make sure Tier 1 players become multimillionaires? But yeah, we're gonna see an early smoke here. And Locas gonna go down. Great start for Danish Bears, and I really like that draft in general, so seems pretty good.
The battle begins.
And I honestly think that one of the major factors in this lineup is the timing of the pipe for Team Danish Bears. I mean, Sand King or Ancient Apparition got to pick one up. I think Sand King would be the best candidate. Nature's Prophet, I don't see him going for it. It's too greedy of a hero, really. You don't want to lose your impact you have on the game. You don't want to lose your split push potential. I mean, yeah, you can always be there when it's needed, so that's decent. I used to spam Nature's Prophet support in my pubs. I actually feel like doing that now that I come to think about it. Especially in a game like this one. It would feel so good. You teleport in, you use your pipe, you save your entire team, and you turn around. It just feels so satisfying, you know? But I don't know. It's really an important item. Also, Sven just went down. Trade up for the Ancient Apparition. It looks like I should focus more on the bottom lane here instead of talking about potential item choices. So a safe tri-lane Void. Not gonna have the best of starts, even with his 2 supports. Just because Nova's lane is stronger. And we're gonna see a stun on the Void, followed by a root, but he manages to get his Q off, so Time Walk saving his ass there. 24-second cooldown is pretty major though, so at least Keeper of the Light can use the time when it's down to put in more harassment. Not quite sure what to think about the bot lane. If you get a kill on the Void, it's huge, but it requires a lot of coordination, and it's gonna be more difficult than what they just tried. One of the advantages of having such a survivable carry, really. Meanwhile, Hester Joe doing what he does best on Nature's Prophet, completely dominating his lane. So Venomancer forced to go back to base already. That's huge. And I mean, the little things like that are why Danish Bears still got a gold advantage in their favor. Pugna, meanwhile, dominating the Storm Spirit in lane, which is gonna keep up at least until Storm Spirit level 6. I mean, Pugna is great to deal with Storm. The attack animation is good. You got a crap ton of early damage, especially with a build featuring 2 Null Talisman. I mean, 1 Null Talisman means 9 more damage. 2 of those, 18 damage, not bad, like miniature phase boots. You also get a good deal of tankiness out of it, so Storm can't nuke you down. I like this. A lot of Pugna players go for some early mana regen to make sure you can bully your lane harder, and usually it's really good, but not against Storm Spirit. If you were up against a mid laner which you can actually somewhat reliably bully, like Juggernaut, then it would be huge to have more mana regen, because Juggernauts can't rely on a spin always, but here it's definitely the right call. And Talk about good calls. Treant Protector might be dropping, but instead we're gonna see Storm Spirit drop on the mid lane, and that means 2-2. The kills now equaling out. Gold advantage should be almost equal now. Meanwhile, Noya running away from the Treant Protector here, taking a bit of damage, but it's just support. Ace's farm on the Void still not going all that well, but Sven's farm completely being decimated by now. After Sven having that huge start, him not getting as much is pretty good. Nature's Prophet about to catch up to the Pugna. You should always ban this hero or make sure you got a good counter for Nature's Prophet in mind against Hester Joe. Like, he loves this hero way too much. And okay, Sven's done being interrupted there. Now Nature's Prophet coming in. We're gonna see a root on the Sand King. Sand King is gonna go down to the Keeper of the Light. However, Sven being traded, that's definitely a favorable trade for Nova, and Nature's Prophet still dishing out auto attacks. Can they get the... No, they can't get Treant Protector. Also, the living armor is so beautiful from the Immortal. I really like this Immortal choice for the Compendium. I'm really glad that I have it as well. Come to think of it, I really need to level my Compendium sometime soon. Gonna see Nature's Prophet try to make a play again. This time around on the Venomancer. Venomancer is gonna go down, getting punished here for roaming in to balance out the amount of offlaners on this bottom lane. Nature's Prophet just making sure he gets those couple of extra right clicks in there by giving vision, and that's the right call. I mean, usually you're kind of reluctant to use Sprout on a Treant Protector, especially when he's already near trees, because all it does usually is give him like half a second earlier invisibility. Or even a whole second, which could save his life potentially. But here it was a good call, and this means Danish Bears are now gonna pull ahead once again. Ace roamed over to the top lane to ensure he's getting farm. And Key on the Sven. Still gonna be a sad boy.
Go for me.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Okay, so it looks like Pugna might be going down. Stays alive for now. Keeper of the Light, meanwhile, dealing out a lot of damage to everyone. And Storm Spirit 747 is gonna go down in exchange with Keeper of the Light right-clicking there, and the mana ward, making sure he goes a little bit lower than he might have anticipated. And with that, it's gonna be a pretty much even trade. I think the assist gold... No, actually it favors Nova because Rubber Band above assist gold, apparently. Alright then, Dota. Maybe it's part of the new patch I haven't read about, because usually my calls regarding that are pretty on point. But okay, now we're gonna see Hester Joe being bullied here by the Treant Protector. Stunned up and blasted and almost knocked down. Sven manages to quell that tree down to enable a kill, and Sand King almost going down himself there. Ace manages to get off the time walk once again. But the gold advantage shrinking, and the game is about as close as it can get. I think, like, if the game stays this close, if nobody gets a huge advantage during the laning stage, then it's really gonna depend on which team is gonna win the first big team fight. And it looks pretty Nova favored. However, like I said so many times, a pipe, like, it's gonna be the core item here. I would honestly prioritize a pipe over the Blink Dagger on Sand King. I can get if... Wait, yeah, he might actually do it, the freaking Madman. I don't know, he's gonna go Tranquil Boots first to give him a bit more sustain. Can Tranquil Boots still be disassembled? That's actually a really good question, since Dota changes those things like pretty much every patch. Okay, Ace about to go down. Key meanwhile still alive. Ace is low health, but so is Pugna now. And Storm Spirit is gonna secure the kill there. Tree and Protector just getting a hit in, and Keeper of the Light completely off the mark with the Illuminate there. Now Tree and Protector manages to go invis, but a Dust is committed. And he's still gonna go down. At least manages cost the enemy a bit more resources, I guess. Illuminate on the Storm Spirit almost dropping him, but it would have cost 2 more auto attacks. And honestly, like Keeper of the Light could have gone for it. Like even if you die, it's still a good trade. But I kind of get why he didn't do it, because if Sand King was nearby and you don't have any vision in the area, then you're just gonna get stunned up and nuked down, and you don't want to feed them even more. Especially now that you got the crap ton of magic damage, which can potentially turn this game around in a bit. For me, this is all about the pipe timing. Seriously, like this amount of magic damage is so huge. You get a Venomancer ultimate, of course he's not gonna take it just yet. The wards are just too valuable, especially because you need to kind of sustain your lane to prevent exactly this from happening. If he had like more wards on the lane, he could have actually gone for a return kill here, or at least stayed alive because of the slow. And I get why. I mean, I get why Danish Bears went to roam in the lane immediately there. This is one of those tiny things you kind of consider. Okay, he hasn't established himself with his wards in the lane just yet, so we can go for him. And now we're gonna see Sven drop down as well to the Ice Blast from Edge Apparition. And this Edge Apparition now on a killing spree. Kills, of course, net him gold. So, I don't know. I want a huge Edge Apparition here, to be honest. I like the semi-core position 3, like where position 3 and position 4 kind of switch, or where, but I don't know. On the other hand, Edge Apparition is a really shitty pipe carrier, I think, compared to the Sand King, because Sand King is initially way tankier. He's gonna tank a lot of the shit anyways, so I think he might get more value out of it. Boom, Pugna going down. And then again, there might not be a plan to like prioritize pipe as much as I say it's important. No, there isn't. This makes me sad. So honestly, if Danish Bears lose while not building a pipe within the first 20 minutes, I'm seriously gonna blame that for them losing the game, unless it's a major other throw, because Pugna's spell damage is huge. Like, yeah, Pugna might be a bit behind in experience, might not be quite as comfy as he would like to be, but honestly, I don't know. Like, Pugna deals a crap ton of magic damage, Keeper of the Light deals a crap ton of magic damage, and Venomancer went for the ultimate here as well. And like a Venomancer ultimate, 30 damage, it's like 300 something damage to everyone it hits. Might not be that much, but if you add it up with all the other stuff, with the Crapify, it can be huge. I hope we get to see it, just so people don't think I'm crazy. I remember when Spotnet was new to the cup, and I was like, Spotnet are such a good team, they're gonna get really far, they're gonna be the rising star of the cup, and everybody thought I was crazy. And that was a beautiful disjoint of the stun there. Ice Blast coming in as well, and he is gonna go down there. Jesper Hasnan, whoever that might be, never heard of the guy before. Might not be his real nick. I don't know by what all players go, to be honest. Some players change their nick like every season, but definitely a great Edge Apparition player.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Somebody's saying to give me more energy drink, and that's actually legitimately how I work. Like, my cast's completely fueled by caffeine, and I have none. Like, I need to get another can of energy drink to generate more hype, guys. But okay, now we're gonna see Ace taking a bit of damage. This can's almost empty. Sorry, chat. Maybe we get someone to pause for a bit so I can get myself more energy drink.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
What sort of prize is this?
Fun begin.
But okay, now we're gonna see Sven jumped on. Try to go for a good stun there. Now it's gonna be a mediocre stun. At least he managed to stun up the Storm Spirit. His Quelling Blade on cooldown, and now he's gonna get nuked down, despite the Treant Protector doing his best to keep him alive, so... Looks like we're gonna get a bit of Game 3 hype at this rate. I mean, we still haven't seen Nova initiate a good team fight, and this is the moment where they should do it, but... I don't know, it's kinda hard to pull off right now. Because you don't have any good AoE stun other than the Treant Protector ultimate. And... Treant is not planning to frontline unless you legitimately plan to like smoke initiate or something. And for that I don't think there's anyone nearby enough, like... No two people sticking together really. Maybe you could send someone to bait. That seems pretty legit right now. And Sand King. Still saving up for his Blink Dagger. He went for mana regen, he is max sustain. This is gonna save him a few trips to base, so... On the long run it's gonna pay off. However, the elephant in the room, and that is the team fight potential on Nova's side, still remains unaddressed, so... This is the time for Nova to turn this game around if they ever want to stand a chance, I think. I don't think there's gonna be better opportunities than this. Okay, so now Sven just farming off Ancients. Nice 3-stack. Okay, and we're gonna see a giant Ice Blast connect onto 3. Locust on the tree and is immediately gonna drop. And this is like... This was the fight that Nova could have won. At least on paper. They had all the tools they needed and they just didn't get to deploy them when they wanted to, how they wanted to. At least Sven and... Wait, are they gonna get out? One of them should be, right? Okay, that's Chronosphere committed. Keeper of the Light is gonna go down, but Sven should be able to live. Treant Protector ultimate now commit for Hester trying to teleport out, and he is gonna make it. 7 freaking armor on the Nature's Prophet, I mean. The extra tankiness from the drums paying off there once again. I mean, the thing with drums, if drums saves your life twice, it's always worth it. And if you plan to go for clutch TPs, it's such a great item. Like, I don't know, I miss the days where like a lot of carries would build it. I don't like carries building it per se. Like, there's better items for most carries. You can build a Mask of Madness to flash farm. You can rush a core item as well, because a lot of core items now have far more forgiving components. Stuff like the Dragonlance just gives you a good deal of early game stats as well to keep yourself alive, as well as the bonus attack range, but most offlaners which are played nowadays, even Sand King could build a good pipe and get away with it, to be honest. And I still don't see anyone even going near the pipe, to be honest, and that's kind of saddening me. Maybe they feel like they don't need it. Right now they really don't, but... I don't know, it would render 4 out of 5 heroes from Nova's side nearly worthless. I mean, you got 4 heroes which rely on dealing magic damage and no one building an early pipe to...
Over here now.
Like... I don't know, it's such a huge item. Maybe I'm missing something. Chat, tell me if I'm missing something. But right now it's tilting me a bit, to be honest. And Nature's Prophet went for an Orchid early on. I really like Hester Joe's build. I just like him on this hero in general. I mean, this is kind of like the support morphing against Saphira, and now we're gonna see the teleport interrupted from Venomancer, and we're gonna see Danish Bears pull ahead even more. Last game Nova were... I mean... Last game Nova were in a really good spot. Because they made the first call for a good team fight. Like, it was 3v3, I think. And... Okay. Keeper of the Light is gonna teleport out. Orchid committed there just to dish out a tiny bit of extra damage. Force him to stay around the base a little bit longer. I don't know. I mean, you got the magic, you got the mana regen. It's not like Pipe is such a huge item anyways. And now we're gonna see a Chronosphere just commit on the Pugna to prevent Nova from getting a good team fight for the next 40 seconds. Danish Bears, who aren't the most aggressive team, they see the they see the danger in Nova, they see the big spell bump, and they just defuse it. They're not even gonna go for a pipe to mitigate it. They're just completely defusing it here, making sure to get pickoff after pickoff. So every time you want to get an objective, the enemy would have to fight you 4v5. And Treant, I think he was considering going for a deny there, but too risky with two people being there. That should be an that could be an insta kill.
Time is money.
Especially with the Orchid amplifying all of that damage that's gonna come out from the Sand King with the Burrow Strike. It's a decent amount of nuke damage. It's underestimated by a lot of players. Like, yeah, 80 magic damage a sec, plus another almost 300 damage, and the pipe makes it a little bit more actually. Yeah, the Orchid actually makes it a little bit more than the magic resistance takes off, I believe. If my map is not off, I don't know. I really need to recalculate that kind of shit. Usually I do before a season, but I don't know. I've been going out to party a lot, and I've been coaching a team myself as well. But enough about that, since Hestion's being gone on, and this could be the team fight we've been waiting for. And that's just gonna be 2 free kills. Ice Blast coming in, but it's not gonna be enough to drop anyone. At least it's gonna prevent Nova from aggressively seeking out an objective immediately after, but that was exactly what they needed. And now Void trying to steal the entrance. Being Protector just gonna run at him. Ace went for a Shadow Blade, and he's gonna try to run away. Is gonna be able to do so, not even going to need to commit a defensive chrono here. And I mean, this was a good fight, but it's not gonna be enough. Just look at the gold net worth. At this point, Danish Bears are also fed. They're gonna be able to split push. They're gonna be able to save farm. 747 meanwhile picking off Key on the top lane, yeah. With an Ice Blast coming in as well. And I said that earlier on during the draft stage about... And yeah, chat's telling me they will finish game without a pipe. And I mean, those 2 pickups at the mid lane there were exactly why I said you need a pipe. Because a pipe could have saved a life there. But Danish Bears, they're playing this way differently. I mean, I'm still kind of skeptical about whether it's the right call or not. Because it's just gonna leave Nova completely without options, but they're playing it differently. They're not gonna give Nova a chance to initiate teamfights at all. They're just playing it more around their global presence, ratting it up, not going for big teamfights. And if they do, first go for a big core pickup, and it seems to work out pretty well so far. Top lane being pushed in a bit, just force people to defend there. And Storm Spirit jumping on the Pugna. Ice Blast coming in once again. Boom! And the pipe is gonna drop Pugna down. Storm perfectly dodging the Storm Hammer there with the Ball Lightning. And this could be a free Roche. I mean, if they get Venomancer or Keeper of the Light nearby really fast. Okay, yeah, Nova are a bit behind there. They're thinking, okay, Roche could be done soon. Let's go for a scout, see if they're putting down wards to go for Roche. But the Roche almost dropped, and I think Nova know. Like, the fact that there's nobody there, gotta confirm their suspicion that Roche is gonna be contested, and That's not too good for them. This means Nova are now in a lot of trouble, which means we're probably gonna see a Game 3 hype. Also, chat, don't be upset about Danish Bears being stumped and now making a comeback. It's really all in the draft and really all in the way you use the tools you're given. Last time around, 747 got shut down completely, so you were essentially... Like, you had the 747 who wasn't gonna be able to do a lot, and the Faceless Void wasn't able to get good chronos with the silencer, so... You really just didn't use your tools on the side of Danish Bears, and they learned from it. So this time around they went for a draft with a lot of global presence, and they played exactly like you should. Red Dota, get pickups, rinse and repeat. So that's really the reasoning behind it. If you look at the strategy, it's pretty obvious. In case everyone is... Because people actually think it's about being better or worse, well, it's just about being aware of what the game has given you, being aware of the tools that Volvo has given you to use. And this is gonna mean 4-for-2 trade. The Nature's Prof going down there isn't too good, but still it's gonna mean a more gold lead in favor of Danish Bears here. This is what I meant. Like, this is exactly what I mean. This time around they know what they have. They know how they have to take fights, and they do. Whereas last time around 747 was shut down and Void didn't respect the silence enough. It's really all about that. Okay, so
Middle tower is under attack.
mid tower is gonna drop here as well, and against the tree and protector, having this many towers early on. Okay, that was what I was about to say. Nova realized immediately. That's, by the way, a thing which has been proven to... And I actually have some statistical proof on this subject by now. Last season I talked a lot about whether it was good or not to surrender early on, to like not be down in terms of motivation for the next game, and turns out it actually is. It's better to just surrender early on. In other sports, like in chess, it's a really big factor.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Chess is a game which comes really close to Dota, like speed chess, and that's a really important factor to know when you give up. Some guys have done psychological studies about that. Giving up when you're about 95% sure you lost increases your chance of winning the next round by more than 5%, statistically speaking, so... You know, that's the thing, in case you want to know, in case you play Battle Cup with 5-man stack or anything, here's a bit of information. Or, I don't know, in case you play small tournaments. That's the thing to keep in mind, but with that, game number 2 is over, and with that, game number 3 coming up. Meanwhile, somebody messing around with my chat. Probably one of the other admins trying to fix my chat. Maybe something was broken, I don't know. But yeah, Danish Bears, they learned from their mistakes. It was really one mistake that cost them the last series. They realized it and made sure it's not gonna happen again. So with that, we are gonna go to game number 3 of the first best of 3. After that, we're gonna have another one. And guess what, chat? I'm actually gonna listen to you and drink another can of energy. Actually, I'm gonna slam that can. Like, I don't know. I'm considering like just taking a half-liter can of energy and slamming that, like, fuck, what's it called again in English? When you make a hole on the side of, like, when I take my knife, make a hole on the side of the can, put that hole on my mouth, and then like open the top of it, because I want to do that to see if I can slam an entire can during the ad. And talk about ads. Feel free, like, I know there's a couple of like those big bettors in the chat who make more per hour than I do, which is kind of saddening, but feel free to make use of our sponsor, XBet. They're a really legit site. I mean, yeah, they might not always have the best odds, but they're extremely reliable when it comes to stuff like refunds when something is broken, so better be on the safe side for like 5% less money, because the odds might not be that extreme. I mean, I've actually looked into this. I've talked to some of the big bettors. Apparently, not a lot of people use XBet because XBet is like not always favorable in odds, but it's really safe. So that way, I don't have to deal with people crying about, oh my god, I lost. Like, oh my god, I lost while the team I was playing had 2 stand-ins. I mean, that's the thing XBet probably doesn't give your money back for. But if there is anything major, like a death win because somebody didn't show up, they're pretty legit on that. So, you know, play it safe. Instead of like getting better odds, go to XBet. If you're one of the big bettors. Also, it supports the cup quite a bit. And with that, oh, by the way, my Twitter is @JoxyTry. I'm gonna put that in chat, so if you want to support me, I can really use a couple of followers. I'm down to like 55 or some shit like that. And yeah, I really need to get some bigger gigs if I want to make casting my main thing. But more Dota coming up, so stay tuned, guys. No worries.